everybody. How's everybody doing? What's going on, Sofa Squad? How are y'all? Now, y'all already know the routine if you've been here before. We need to get a one in the comment section so I know I'm not talking to myself because Lord knows that's on brand for me. Okay. Let me. Oh, that's already muted. Cool. Drop a one if you can hear me, and then we'll keep going on. Shoop, shoop, doop, 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 doop. Two, one, 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 one. Okay, cool. Cool. Awesome. Yay. Thank you, everybody. First and foremost, everybody, welcome Miss Emily to the table. She is our keep everybody, including myself, in line moderator, friend, Sofa Squad member, founding member, I should say. Emily said she had a beautiful service this morning at her church. And I hope those who went to and did the same thing had a beautiful one. Those who celebrate Easter, I hope it was a beautiful Easter for you. I hope that everybody is doing well. I'm doing well myself. I had a beautiful walk this afternoon. I just posted on one of the pictures on Instagram. At a new park I haven't been to here in North Carolina, so it was a lot of fun. It was about a 2.5-2 hour walk, and let me tell you what, I am beat. Okay, beat. So, but that doesn't mean that there's no time for a little conversation tonight. So let's just see. Chrissy, there you are again. How are you? Oh, which one? No, it did not. The way they do these ads on here. Chrissy, it's good to see you again. We had our members Patreon chat this morning. It was good to see everybody there. If you're a new member, just look in the community board, and you'll see the post there. You can go back and watch the replay if you want to. Squinting Cat, how's it going? Squinting Cat says sunrise on the service on the beach. My mom went to one at the beach here and sent me pictures. It was just beautiful. Hey Mel, hello again, Emily. Hey Amy. Hey Wicked. Hey Huma Fox. Hey McGrawnut. Hey Jenny. Hey Greg. Hey PTSD Service Dog. Isabel. Hey again. What's up? Hello Aaron. I'm glad you made it to your first live. Hey Sylvia, how's it going? So many people, so many regular faces or names, I should say, I guess. Hey, Amanda, how's it going? Lawrence, Gwynnegat. Lisa, how's it going? Love is a 4-letter word. Hey, Regina. Hey, Shuttered. All right, y'all. So we got, thank you, Lenny55. I do appreciate that. Okay, y'all. We have a few things going on in today's live chat. So first of all, we're going to be talking about how we're going to attempt, at least I should say, to do the Chad Daybell thing, the trial, which starts tomorrow. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're also going to obviously continue our conversation with Frankie. So I did part 2 of the journals. I recorded part 3 this morning. I just made the thumbnail for it. I'm going to try and edit it and upload it after we hang up here tonight. But it just depends on how tired I am, because I'm not lying, y'all. I'm over here like from that walk today. The sun and that, I mean, and I'm not complaining. It felt amazing, but it wiped me out. So I'm going to try and get it done. And uploaded. But I figure we focus our conversation on that, because I don't think we've had a public channel live chat about the journals, like kind of dedicated to that, I guess you could say, because it keeps getting worse. Okay. That's what I put named the thumbnail title. I was like, part 3 or whatever. And then I said, she goes to a new low, because every entry that I read, I'm doing them in 10-page increments, basically. That seems to be about what I have time to be able to do in one day and get out the next day. And then maybe once I'm all done with them, I'll have them consolidated into like a marathon one, because I mean, it'll probably be several hours. I'm hoping it could be just a 4-part. So this one tomorrow, and then the next one, and that'll be it. So, but I figured we kind of talk about that with the Ruby Frankie thing, and then talk about like how we're going to go about the Chad Daybell trial and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. And again, if you're new here, if you haven't been to a live chat here, this is the live chat channel, basically, but we call it the podcast channel. And so this is not like my main channel where it's edited and all that kind of stuff. Over here, it's very casual. We go live usually at least once a week, sometimes twice, especially with the trial firing up. We're probably going to go live over here, like the public lives more. We've been covering documentaries each week. Now that this stuff's come out, we're kind of dedicating it to the Chad and trial and all that going on. Lauren, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And whoever got that does too, I'm sure. And hold on, you know what? Let's just hold on one second. Hold on now. Hold on. Hold on now. Hold on. Hold on now. Hold on. Hold on now. Hold on now. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's get some of these things going. Shib shibbity doob. Do it. I'm out of my free ones. Your gift has been. There we go. Happy new membership, everybody. Welcome to the Sofa Squad. Welcome to the Sofa Squad. Come one, come all. So I forgot where I was at now. But we're going to talk about the Chad Daybell trial. Oh, the channels and stuff. So that's what we do. So we go live over here. If you want scripted versions of stuff, usually I'll put, if we do a documentary, I'll do an edited version, put it on the main channel. So just know that I stop, I talk, or kind of all over the place. It's that vibe. I get it if you don't like it. That's kind of why I have a separate channel for it. Because some people like live chats and some people don't, right? I get that. So, that being said, let's start with the journals. And please hold while I pull them up. What I want to do is just pull up some stuff and go back over them a little bit. And what I mean, not back over them, like read them verbatim, like in the videos or whatever, but just kind of talk about them and some of the stuff in, like, I don't want to say the highlights, but you know what I'm saying. Because here's the thing, the journals are like a descent into madness. Okay. They start, and I'm not trying to say that, I was going to say they start off kind of normal. They don't start off kind of normal, but if you put yourself in the room of Ruby Frankie, let's put it that way, and you're like, we're going to enter into her reality. Okay. They begin at the very beginning, a little bit more normal than where they end up, right? Oh, Chrissy, I hope you do okay in the hospital tomorrow, and thank you. And Tracy, thank you for, Tracy gifted 10 memberships as well. Yay, thank you, Tracy. And everybody, I'm sure received them. Thank you. So, excuse me. So they start off a little bit not as bad as they go, but literally each section I've been doing, it's like it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, right? And this last part 3 that I recorded this morning, y'all, I was over here like I, I say it each entry that I do, but I mean it more and more. Where I'm like, how are the kids still alive? I couldn't believe they hadn't already done away with the kids' lives at this point. You know what I'm saying? And yet AC says, what was redacted? Do we know? I have no, and I don't know if they're redacted because it was so bad, but whatever it was, I mean, if we're seeing, I mean, if it's being censored out for that, I mean, the stuff they're showing us is awful. It's like it gets worse. I mean, I just can't imagine. And I feel, I don't know how to describe this. It's almost like I feel ripped off in a way, because it was like they went up and it was like, oh, they've been doing this terrible stuff. And it was almost like we had the watered down version of what they had done. And then they took these plea deals. They went up there. We had an idea like, yeah, they're trying to get out of trouble, this, that, and the other. And then they released this information. And it's like, what? This is all that was going on. And they're only going to maybe get 30 years. That's what I'm talking about, right? That part right there, I was like, are you kidding me? And I mean, that's the max. I mean, I think they 100% should get it. Yeah. And Regina says they were waiting for the new ranch. 100%. If the children hadn't, like, say, in their world by accident died before the ranch was where it was going to happen. Because they talked about them the same way that Lorian did, like they were a hindrance. You know, and like, okay, so part 3. So let's go ahead and skip around. Let's just like, we're gonna do it. If you're new here, also to my live chat channel, y'all, I'll try and stay on track with something, but then I get excited about it, and excited means flustered, not excited like in a happy way, and I jump around, right? So I'm sorry. So we're gonna jump to the video that I recorded today for a second. Okay, I know it wasn't out there yet, but welcome, Alan. They're heavy on the desert stuff in this one. and I actually put the desert in the thumbnail. They're heavy on the desert thing and taking them out to the desert and doing stuff. Okay. And it's like, I'm reading this. Well, first of all, this is where they are being forced to go clean up the cemetery. And I don't know if you've seen that footage yet or whatever, but there's a woman who comes and records them cleaning up the cemetery. And it's the kids out there with bags. Ruby and Jody are out there. They've come and done it twice. And the second day, like, a woman comes up and is like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't your property. Get off this property. And Ruby's in here trying to talk about, like, we're helping, and this woman who sounds, I guess, reading between the lines, is Native American, because she's saying stuff like, you've taken our land. It's enough that you took our land, and now you're taking, the stuff from whatever. That's the vibe that, like, the way that Ruby describes it in her little journal. Well, Rudy then, of course, has to gaslight the situation and be like, no, she was in the wrong. We were doing this. She's the evil one, all that. And I'm like, this is a prime example where it's like she's going to continue to just like victimize and torch other people's stuff, but blame everybody for it. Now, the other thing too that they had to be thinking is, why do they have these? Why are they out in this heat? Why are these kids out here doing this? And then also with Ruby talking about making them go barefoot in the desert. And then, so the part I got to is where basically, so there's that part, right? That's awful enough, right? So then, and Kylie says, love that she was calling Ruby out on her privilege. Don't love that she tried to get into it. Yeah, I totally get it. I agree, Kylie. And because Ruby is the epitome of that. Of like, no, look, we're helping. Well, we trampled all over your stuff. Well, but we helped though. And I almost got the vibe that the woman was like, you're not picking up garbage. You're picking up like little artifacts that people have left. She didn't say that. Those are my words, but it's kind of the vibe I got. So, and I could completely see Ruby doing that, right? 100%. So there's another part where she's talking about taking the kids out of the desert and basically giving, it sounds like, the daughter an opportunity to be like, do you want to, and I forget how she, well, you know what, hold on, please hold. It's almost like saying, like, do you want to go jump into a cactus, or do you want to go run 100 yards in the desert heat barefoot? I mean, it was something insane that the girl was like, I would rather jump into a cactus than do this. And I'm like, what am I reading? Why? Oh, wait, so, okay, I'm just skipping. So I'm on my page where I cut the things out. Okay, let's see. Jody wants to go to Tuscan today to look at property. It's acres, but it's fine. I'm willing. This perpetually screamed. Okay, here we go. August 1st, 2023, Tuesday. Jody went to Tucson today to look at property of 500 acres. 500 acres. FAR are both defiant and unwilling to soften, and it could be EAR. I can't really read it 100%. This week perpetually screamed outside. Jody and I accommodated her and took her to Hellhole Road. I couldn't believe the damn thing was called Hellhole Road. And I was like, is that literally Jody's address? Would this not be completely on brand if Jody's address was like, whatever, like 321 Hellhole Road? Because literally it was a hellhole, okay? Okay, let me go back to my screen. I just had to interject that. Okay. Please hold. Please continue to hold. Okay. So, yes, this is a road. This is really a road on your way to Las Vegas. She was made to run on the dirt road. She ran for a bit, then started manipulating. I told her to run up an incline on a hillside, touch a tree, and return 100 yards max. She threw herself into, so listen to this is what she's making her kids do. She threw herself into a tree. Jody pulled her out, breaking her flip-flops. After an hour of jumping in bushes, we get in the truck to find a cactus. Blank walked right up to the cactus, threw herself into the middle of it. It was unhuman. She acted like it didn't hurt at all. She cuddled right in. I watched her pass her foot up against a cactus. No, I'm sorry. I watched her press her foot up against a cactus ear. I watched with my mouth open. She is so numb. After being cozy with the cactus, E got up and spoke with Jody for about 10 minutes. Jody and E walked to the truck and I rolled down the window. E said, "May I have permission to speak?" "Yes." "Can I have another chance at running the hill?" "Yes." We get in the truck and drive to the hill. E gets out and comes to my window. "Mother, what would you like me to do?" I instructed her to run to the dead tree, then come back. E replied, "I would rather jump into a cactus." What evil, what deception. This girl would choose to be shot and die than to humble. Do what she is told. There is no pain point where she will turn. The nest something. The rest of July 30th, Sunday, we put E in the closet, contemplate what to do. She screams much of the day. She doesn't get water. If she screams, she refuses to eat. Okay, we'll pause there. So, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like anyone reading that and hearing that I mean, like, what are you even talking about, Ruby? Okay, what are you even talking about? I think clearly too with the children, psychologically, they have broken them down to such a degree. It was like the kids were having to disassociate, probably doing things to like, you know what I mean? Almost like, well, I'm just gonna bang my head against the wall, then, mom. You know what I mean? Like where they don't like you can't win with Ruby and Jody. So it's almost like you just start harming yourself. You know what I'm saying? If they even did this at all, they could be lying about it, right? Um, the other thing that continually goes to my mind, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so hold on, Vanessa. First of all, thank you. Their prison sentences should include all the punishment. Amen, Vanessa. I 100% agree. They should make them. They should make them carry books, stand out in the heat, do the cactus thing, go without water and food, all this kind of stuff. I mean, all of this kind of stuff. Mm. John talked about the effects, hold on, of isolation based on research on monkeys. Oh, I bet that's fascinating. AKA Cat Lady says Hidden True Crime had an episode where Dr. John talked about isolation effects based on a study that was done on monkeys, it looks like. Sorry, it was like scrolling past real quick. I was trying to read real fast. Lifted Woodworking says the closet is the safe room and the pantry is the closet you was in. So yeah, so this whole thing when they say the closet and all this type of stuff, I mean, if you've been following this and you've seen the what do you call it the evidence of the body cam footage of like what this area looked like. I mean, it was literally to me a prison, right? I mean, it had the weird laundry room in the middle of like the laundry in the middle of the room and these like doors that like met. Oh wait, oh sorry, hold on. I'm on the hold on, please hold. I didn't know I messed all that up. I didn't know I messed all that up. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Okay, there we go. I have it on the other screen, and so I can't see. Oof, hold on, let's change this. My goodness gracious. Let's see. How's this? Boom. I had it on another screen or whatever, and it tilted away. So here's the thing. I'm at a loss for words a little bit. Hearing the reaction that Jody had. So first of all, and not to really sit here and get into a comparison of Lori, but you almost can't help it. Okay, so the way that Lori would talk to people about like JJ and Tylee and about how they're possessed and like saying like, oh, JJ was climbing up the walls and doing this, doing that. What is bizarrely fascinating is how Ruby is describing the children as this, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, right? Everything they do, the way she's sitting here saying, like, God, there's no pain point that, she'll turn away from. She goes, I mean, I watched her go into a cactus and do this and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, this is your literal, if she really did that, it's like pardon me, you're causing these children that level of mental anguish. Okay. Um, you're causing that level of mental anguish to the children, and anguish is the only word I can think of. And I think this is what I think they were going to do. I think they were going to get out to this property. Number one, have the kids do the work, right? If you remember one of the kids in the beginning of Jody's, what's her name? Lori, not Lori. My God, help me. Ruby. Oh my gosh. They're all interchangeable, right? Of Ruby's diary, she talks about the son sitting there saying, all mom does is sit on the sofa and eat brownies or whatever. Okay, well, remember the evidence that showed they had all that like shelves of cake mix? And I could see Ruby living off of that, like behind all closed doors. It's like that was her staple. That was her go-to. But I also bet like these two seem like the type that would be cooking stuff like that where the kids are starving to fill the house up with that smell. You know what I'm saying? And then sitting there eating that, starving the kids out. So all that being said, oh, whoops, and I missed your thing up here. Hold on. Neferiti says, I hope these kids are getting intensive therapy. Amen. I can see them developing hoarding issues with food. Oh, seriously, that's an excellent point. Emotionally stunted and worse, becoming apathetic and continuous cycle abuse. Exactly. So, you know what? That's an excellent point you bring up because when you are, and thank you for the super chat. So, when somebody does this, especially your parent, and we see the depths that they were screwing with their brains over the food and water withholding and stuff like this, um, that is going to trigger something in you. So yeah, as you get older and control it, they probably have like, because when you are food insecure, number one, that is an insecurity that no one should experience, obviously. When it is done in this sinister manner like this, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like this bizarre punishment type thing. That's where I think it could totally trigger that. Now, again, what's it, Dr. John or something like that would probably be somebody to speak to that. I mean, I'm no shrink, right? But it just makes common sense. Love is a 4-letter word. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Oh, and hold on. Second, hold on. Let me make this bigger. Second call with Ruby. Kevin said, I'm going to do everything I can to keep truth in our family. 100% of connections reference living in truth rather than distortion, fake divorce to get kids back, in my opinion. Oh, very interesting. And that damn word distortion. Oh my God. Y'all, when I saw so many similar vocabulary words in Jody and Ruby's diary that we saw from what's her name, Lori. So many similar things. Please hold. Okay, let me go back over to this thing real quick. Yeah, and I agree. People talking about Kevin. I get seeing this. Also, knowing what was going on and looking back at her behavior during 8 passengers. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm gonna read this. Over 8 passengers and what she deemed okay to put on camera. That clearly Kevin's around for this. There's no telling what was going on behind the scenes. And even though she wants to try and play it off right now, talking about like, oh, this was Jody and blah, 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 blah. Girl, you were doing this weird stuff she was doing. Remember the video of the kid, the son, the child, when he leaves the socks and the mom turns and the daughter says, are you mad? And he's like, I left my socks. First of all, Aaron, thank you for the super chat. The first time R escaped, Ruby wrote in the drawer, we need to find him or our lives will be changed forever. Consciousness of guilt. She knew how to get them. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. 100%. That's the whole thing where they try and play this whole like, oh, I believe Jody's Narnia story, and all this type stuff. No, their nervousness over when he was escaping, because remember how it was like all the kids, and when she's tying them to her at nighttime, um, the daughter is trying to get away. They know, and this is probably another reason why they wanted to get out, the property, because you heard Jay say, we can't really do this till we get the property. We can't really, do this or that. They know, you know what I'm saying? If they were truly smoked, and what I mean by smoked is just gone, like not, checked out, they wouldn't be trying to hide their actions because they would see no difference. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I ain't no shrink or, doctor or nothing. But you can just see these little things come out. They know. They know. So yeah, and everyone's talking about everyone's talking about Pam. Yes. I mean, this is the thing. It was a network. Remember how they would talk about we took all the kids over to so and so's house to clean and do this and do that. I mean, literally, they were going to have these kids build a compound. I mean, that's what the stuff that they were having them do. I'm like, what? You know, even the cemetery thing where it was like we were out there for 5 hours or some insane amount of time in this heat, and I'm like, what are you talking? Like, what? What? And then taking them home and withholding food and water. And I don't know if it was in part 3 or I can't remember where it's at now. Pardon me. Where she's talking about her daughter sticks her head in the toilet and she's like, oh, it's just disgusting, all this. I'm like, yes, she was trying to cool off, number one. Number two, she's probably drinking and stealing water. And that you get thirsty enough, you'll do that. It's survival, right? And the fact that Ruby, like, I don't know the right word for it, not looks down, but uses that is to like to gaslight them for evilness because of it. It's like they're trying to survive you. It's heartbreaking. Um, it's just, again, what's so bizarre to me about this case is, wait, hold on, oh, that's getting picked up from Pam's and her awful husband was crazy. So Jenny, I saw, hold on, let me put this up here. Hold on, because it'll go away. Hold on. Jenny says, Paul, did you see the body cam of the others getting picked up from Pam's and her awful husband was crazy? They're horrible too. Yes. If it's the one I'm thinking about that came out like a minute ago where the daughter comes to the door and they're kind of falling over. Oh, she dropped him off to help us clean and blah, blah, blah. So, okay. You look at how Ruby talks to the kids, she talks to the kids this way in front of others. So these people like Pam and people like that, I'm like, oh, they had to talk, like they had to be seeing this. See, I don't like these two people. And their faith was making them feel good. He said, oh, what an excellent point. Yeah, so Devin says a lesbian and me is screaming. Wait, hold on. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, hold on. It's going away. It's going away. It was a good point. Hold on. Please hold. Please hold. I'm trying to get back up to it. It's gone. Okay, Devin said a second ago, basically that they were on the down low, Jody and Ruby, and because of their beliefs that they were taking that out on the kids. I meant to put it up there, but it scrolled by too quick on my thing right here. 100%. I 100% think that they were having something go on. Okay, it's horrifying to think about. I know. I can't. It's giving Chad Daybell loin fire. It's all that stuff. But I 100% think that something like that was going on. You can't say this whole thing where she was like, look, our house guest is disassociating on the hour, every hour. I'm just going to have to sleep in her bed, Kevin, and I'll let you know when we will come down for you or whatever. What? And that's the thing where it's like, Kevin, like, are you serious? Your house guest is banging your wife on the second floor or something, right? Something god awful. Gee, dear Lord, help us. Jesus, take the wheel, all that. And it's like, he's just, okay, I'm just trying to get Ruby back. Yeah. Not cute, Kevin. Not cute at all. So yeah, I 100% think something was going on. Okay, so let's do this. Let's segue for a second. Wait, hold on. There goes. Zora Foxes. And first of all, hello, Zora Foxes. Says, Paul, can you please create a playlist of your narration of Chad books in order? So much fun to hear you give your take on his insane writings. Love your channel so much. I appreciate it. So a couple of things on that. I'll just, since your comment came up, we'll jump to this real quick. I do have a playlist and I don't know, I think they're in order, but I'll go back and check. However, I'm having somebody put the entire thing together. And I actually recorded a new intro for it today, and it will basically be like in order of like, they're going to chop off like some of the beginning, how each video I introduce myself, they're going to chop all that off and put everything together and make it one like marathon video. So that'll be soon, hopefully in a week, probably it'll come out, but that'll be there. So, and then Aaron, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Ruby's one sister, is not standing by her. I want to either say the redacted stuff is worse than what the public can imagine. with the public. I can't imagine. Oh my God. Thank you, Aaron. Again, the stuff think about this. If the stuff that they showed us or allowed us to see is awful. So there's stuff that they're not putting us up. My God. Like, what was it? Again, when I got to these pages today, I was like, how are the kids still alive? I literally was like, how are the kids still alive? I mean, it just got worse and worse. And this is the thing that baffles me too, because it's almost like when you see things, okay, like, when you see some of these people who get like really, 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 really mentally unwell, and it's like they are like in that weird, like almost schizophrenic type thing where whatever, I don't even know how to describe it, but it is like this weird religion. They go off into these whole things, whatever. You would think that that's what was going on, like the not bathing, the I'm possessed, like all this weird stuff. But because they seemingly, and somebody else said it earlier about them making statements on the way of like they knew there was a right and wrong to it, right? They knew to hide it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they knew to hide the stuff, the behaviors. They didn't want to get caught. Hold on. So that's where I feel this in my bones, Kylie. Okay. I feel it in my bones. Okay. I would give good money to hear her say, I'm Satan's bride. Satan wants you. I would pay good money to hear it and see the look on her face. Literally, the narcissism with those two is off the charts. Okay. The things that they would do, and the fact that people just went along and gassed them up for it, absolutely floors me. Okay. Absolutely floors me. But so it's not like they were in some kind of like, okay, they really were this or that or whatever. It's just they were just evil, right? And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, you would wake up talking to Jody and Ruby every day, and literally, y'all, it would start. There was not a moment that they did not seek out to make those children's existence utter misery. Utter, absolute misery. Every step of the day, every step of the way, it was like, what can we do to make this child's life miserable? And it blew. And I'm like, don't y'all? I mean, I know Jody's scamming people and stuff. I mean, dang, don't y'all have like hobbies or a job to do? But their hobby was making the kids miserable. And I guess they looked at it as their job was too. The fixation that these people get with the kids. And I think, somebody else said it earlier about, the whole thing about like, oh, well, they were on the down low and taking out the kids. I think that it is this thing of like, and wait, Sarah, hold on. They both had, hold on. I'm gonna put this up there because you're making a good point here. Sarah, first of all, hello, Sarah. She says they both had anger and self-hatred and projected it and turned it outward and control and hate and sadness for the kids. Exactly. Like it's all these things that they pivoted like, within themselves and then put it onto these kids. It's so bizarre. But and how much time they would dedicate to it and the self-righteousness of it. And then so you look at people like Lori. Also, there's this level of, I think that they move on because like clearly what's her name? Ruby, whatever she was doing, like it's almost like she decided that Jody was her new grift in some way. They both were using each other for this. And I would say they both deserve each other, but unfortunately the kids got the brunt of it. But it's almost like they were each grifting one another for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? And so once Ruby latched onto this, it was like her kids were in the way. And I think she was just looking for reasons to eventually be like, well, yeah, they had to go. I mean, look at them. They wanted food and water. I mean, like only the devil would want that. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of a thing. Jenny, first of all, thank you, Jenny. So can you please read this to Ruby and Jody's cell blocks and then the Loan Fire text to Chad's jury? I know, right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine that alone? Okay, Melody. First of all, Melody, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Paul, for helping me make it through this. BS Kevin is 100% responsible for letting his wife take the child to use this or sadistic toys. Well, I know. I can't fathom, especially. So I said that. I don't know if I said this in the members chat or when we talked. I don't remember. It all comes down to this, and now, granted, I know this was a minute ago, but not that long ago, when Kevin was talking about that BS, talking about plates are flying to the damn house, talking about her head spin around 3 times, she's doing all this crazy ish, all this type of stuff, and then he says to the cops, if she's faking it, she was really good or whatever he said, and I'm like, that tells you everything to know. The fact that it's still a consideration that it could be real. I'm like, absolutely, these children would be in danger with this man because it's just he's still, and you could tell he was still. Well, what about Ruby? What about Ruby? Have you seen what your wife did to your kids? You're concerned about her. Not one word that we saw, at least in the public. Who knows what went on behind that? About the kids when there's no reaction there at all, right? It was so bizarre. It was so bizarre. Let me check this out. Sandra, first of all, hello, Sandra, and thank you. When R went to the neighbors, I wonder if Ruby drove to find him with a child or two. Couldn't find him, saw ambulance, took child to Pam's, called Jody and Kevin. Then Jody called lawyer, and Ruby may have thought of leaving. Oh, damn, you got a good one there. Hold on, let me see if I can put this up here. I don't know, it won't go. This is getting tricky now, y'all. Oh, wait, here it goes. Here it goes. Okay, y'all. Sandra says, I'm going to read it again. Okay, Sandra says, when R went to neighbors, so we're talking about here when he escaped, right? I wonder if Ruby drove to go find him with a child or two, couldn't find him, saw ambulance, took child to Pam's, called Jody and Kevin, then Jody called the lawyer, and Ruby may have thought of leaving. I mean, here's the thing. There was so much orchestrating going on because remember when Kevin went to the police department and read the interview that we saw, and he was like, I'm not going to, say who called me. Jody is coming out of the door with a lawyer on the phone. This is another reason why, when it's like, it's almost like they were like in this some kind of schizophrenic manic mode. Way too much covering up. When she opens the door on the phone with the lawyer, talking about, oh, I haven't been in that room in like years. I forgot what the code is. Girl, no. Oh, I have Airbnb. Have we determined were the Airbnb guest Ruby? Is that who she was saying, or were there legitimate guests in the Airbnb? I can't remember if we've determined that or not. I mean, I know that I don't have it in my mind, but has anybody else determined that? Like, was she just saying that to try and like, you know what I mean? Be like, it's not Ruby. Hold on, let me get out of the current comment. Jody didn't mention RB. You remember there's one kid here. I think it was Ruby. Don't know. Hold on. Okay, wait, hold on. I wonder about those guests too. The cops said they were there. Okay, so they were legitimate. Okay. There were guests. Police had them in the car for a while. Oh my God, it gets even worse for them. Again, we need to hear from these guests. We need to hear from these guys because I would want to know this if they're like, well, yeah, when we showed up, she came out to help us and she was kind of scary. Talk about Jody because the way Kevin talks about her, I mean, he literally describes her like a little gremlin. You know what I mean? Where he's like, she wears a hoodie all the time. She's all messed up. She stinks. Her hair is greasy. I mean, she just sounds unwell. Somebody else said this. It wasn't me. But I don't remember if it was in the member chat or wherever or in the comments or whatever. But they're basically like Ruby is more dangerous because Jody's kind of stupid, whereas Ruby's a little bit more conniving or whatever, a little bit more swift, and almost like if you look at the dynamics that played out in the courtroom where Ruby, on the phone, she tells us, this is what the people want to hear. I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give them the performance of their lifetime. Jody gets up there, not, what, yeah, I'm sorry, talking to the lawyers, oh, hey, Mark, it's good seeing you. Talking to the lawyers, or the cops, I'm sorry, in that group, or in the first time we see her in there, number one, talking to them as much as she did. Whereas Ruby, she knew better. I ain't saying one damn thing she said. She knew. And that was, whether we like it or not, the best thing she could have done. Amanda says, I don't know. They're both pretty gross, but in different ways. Amen, girl. Seriously. They both look, again, going back to that arrest, the way that Ruby looked, just nothing behind her eyes. Yeah, Kylie says, hold on, let me put this back up here. Hold on, hold on. Oh, don't go away. Oh man. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't keep up with y'all. I was gonna put. Hold on, where you go? And hey, Ice Castles, how's it going? Jody has two phones in her hands. When she opens the door, it looks like she's recording them on one. She gives it close to her chest so they can't say, "Oh yeah, she was 100% recording it." The moment when she's on the phone with a lawyer, we're talking about now the moment of Jody getting arrested. She's on the phone with a lawyer, and during this time, and the cop finally comes out there and tells her, like, okay, this is why we're here. And they're like, yeah, a boy jumped out of here. You know what I'm saying? Talking about it. That look like she just kind of like, there's nothing you can say at that point. It was the ish look. You know what I mean? Because she knew. She knew. Oh wait, okay. Gigi says it was a phone and a power bank. That's right. That's right. Okay, yeah. Because remember, she was like, no, you can't come in here. I mean, because remember this, she was a very popular, I don't know the right word for it, highly regarded, God help us, therapist up there. I mean, the church was sending people her way, this, that, and the other. Because people who seem to be from that area are like, she's well known here. So this is like someone that, I guess in the public up there would be like, you know, Jody did this, you know what I'm saying? Like she's, so and so. How she wouldn't do that. Hey Lorraine, how's it going? And that house is insane. Somebody else was mentioning this. Okay, I saw a TikTok and this girl was saying this. So it's not my original thought, is what I'm saying, but I just thought of it. I don't have it in front of me. Basically, talking about her whole TikTok was about, look at how much planning went into that bottom room where the bunkers or what the prison cells for the kids, that whole thing. Look at how much planning went into what they were doing there, like how much energy was put into this. It's crazy. The whole thing where the kids hadn't seen each other. I mean, there's no telling what the kids were thinking in those last couple of weeks before he escaped. There's no telling what they were thinking. You would have been scared to death. Scared to death. Because it's like, this is your mom. Even though we can see this trajectory of Joe or of Ruby, to me, the Ruby that you're seeing there versus the rewind 5 years Ruby is way more unhinged, right? So it's like, excuse me, they had to have been scared to death on top of trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Panic room. Okay, yeah. How did one not see those rooms remain like outside family? Yeah, that was the thing. And her house is so cold, so cold. Come here, Roscoe. Come here. I mean, so utterly cold. Um, Wait, they stated that. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. You kept saying problems. Yes. So, okay, you just said, hold on, can I catch it in time? It went away. Sorry. Um, I can't remember your name, but you just said the thing about the neighbor when they called 911, they said they've had problems with Jody. Oh, I'm sure. Imagine what she would be like. Take out like what we saw, like so pretend like they didn't know about the abuse, all that type of stuff. Imagine what she would be like as a neighbor in general. Just that is your next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine like if you had to have like an HOA meeting with her. Oh, the attention-seeking behavior that she would pull. Yeah, Mel says her house is as cold as her heart. Yeah, there's like nothing in it, right? It's like what you imagine an alien spaceship looking like when people are like, oh, there's like really nothing. When I was abducted, it was just like this one piece of metal and there's like no real controls over it. It's like that was her house, right? I was like, she might be, a UFO person. Please hold. And Cindy says, I wonder if they are poisoning R, causing him to swim himself. Well, another thing too is like, okay, so you know how, okay, I revert back to this too, with this part of it. And again, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. This is just, whatever. Okay, so remember if you followed the Harmony and Montgomery case, and we just kind of wrapped that up a few weeks ago, and she had bathroom issues, but they were fine. But when Adam Montgomery got custody of her, she starts soiling herself again. Well, obviously, why? Bless her little heart. Her body's reacting to the horrifying things he's putting her through. I feel like with her kids, especially the way she was making them, um, like withholding food and water and things like this, I feel like it was their bodies reacting to it. You know what I mean? Because that one line where she's like, I never envisioned him being this age and still pooing and peeing his pants and stuff. I'm like, girl, that's because of you, okay? And then the way she would monitor, the one thing where she was like, he stole water because his stool was too soft or something like that. And I'm like, she's even monitoring what their stool looks like to see when they stole food. Watching them, and then and I think it was when I did this morning where she's like watching him shower or whatever child necessary at the time, so they won't escape. That's the thing too, because if you were thinking, they were so keenly aware of the children escaping. Um, hold on. Julie says, "Hey Julie, how's it going? Can you imagine Jody and Ruby living in an RV? God help us all." Have you ever seen these RV channels on damn YouTube and stuff like that? The family, "Hey, this is how my family of 20 lives in this RV." Oh, I can't even with Jody and Ruby doing that. I can sadly see them doing it, right? Um, Love is a four-letter word. Thank you very much. And you say, her sister asked, "Do you hate talking about this stuff? I wonder if it triggers anything. But if you're doing okay mentally, that's okay. I wonder if Ruby and sisters were abused as kids." I wonder this too, because remember, and I can't remember, what is Ruby's daughter's name that's older, who's on social media? Cherie or Sher I'm saying it wrong probably. I don't know if it was her and other older kids that said this has been going on, like almost like this is a family behavior. Now, I'm not talking about specifically what we see with Jody and like this stuff right here, but these kind of like extreme discipline, this type stuff. I mean, wasn't that like the norm for this family? Um, Sherry, thank you. Um, wasn't that like the norm for this family? Oh, Emily gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Emily. And then it was, maybe what's her name took it to this extreme or whatever. Um, yeah, Vanessa says, I think they watch in the shower so they could not drink water. Yes. Brown Bird says, I think they watch in the shower so they cannot drink water. Can you imagine being so thirsty and taking a shower and wanting to sneak that water so bad and your parents watching you and you can't? I mean, seriously, it's absolutely morbid. Um, I don't know. The kids would be living outside, no stop. And that was the other thing too. Ann says the kids would be living outside, no stop bed for them. They wouldn't be allowed in. R saved their souls. Yes, 100%. He absolutely did. And yet, that's that's the thing. She has the kids. The one. So when R ran away the first time, and he's sleeping on the deck of the porch, I'm like, what? What do you think? I was surprised that they were surprised he ran away. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, are you kidding? Let me go over to the little diary entry again. Oh gosh, this picture. Hold on. Where are we at here? Okay, so here we go. We're gonna read this next little part. So this is for the video tomorrow, but we're gonna read it real quick. And some of you probably already read this and seen other things on it, but I'm sorry, we're just gonna go over it again. Okay, anyways. July 31st, Monday, Jody wakes up from a dream. God lets her know we have done everything we can to get E's attention. So let's pause right there. This is what I'm talking about, the Lori Vallow vibes. We've done everything we can. It's out of our hands. You know what I'm saying? It's out of our hands at this point. We've done all that can be done. And it's like, okay, let's keep going. Lord, don't continue these physical interventions. They will only bring resentment. E is angry about her feet. Dress her wounds and leave her to me. So you know that they probably dress them with that cayenne pepper, right? Okay. This intervention gives the opportunity for E to soften and see that we aren't hurting her. Jody cleansed her heels. The hydrogen peroxide didn't sting. E is numb to it. The spirit was very strong as Julie and I witnessed Jody cleaning what didn't deserve to be cleaned. After dressing the wounds, Jody carried her back to the closet. I mean, my God. E did scream and sulk and ask for water. I gave her lunch, leftovers over several meals she wouldn't eat. It made me wonder if the food was rotten too. She finally ate. I gave her water and then the scriptures. This is the first opportunity to have reading materials since coming to Jody's. Me, when you see God, he will judge you out of these books. Did you honor your mother? No. Did you keep his commandments? No. Did you repent? No. You're in big trouble. You better get really familiar with what's in here. I mean, I'm just imagining the looks on their faces because, again, nothing they could do ever would suffice. You know what I'm saying? It would never suffice. Okay, hold on one second. Let me come up here. Yeah, I was wondering if the food was rotten too, because that would be completely on brand for her to do, right? Um, yeah, and hold on, Alanya. I hope I'm saying your name right. You say I seen a photo of the pantry. It's full of like 8 boxes of cake mix, 6 frosting, tons of chocolate syrup, honey, and pie filling. See, here's the thing too. You know how like when you envision like you see these exorcist movies where like the devil's like gotten in their pantry and like and the possessed person eating all the sugary stuff. That's the thing. I swear to God, they were the ones damn possessed, right? I mean, when R was saying the thing in the earlier term, we talked about this earlier, but I'll say it again, where he was like, all mom does is sit on the sofa or whatever and eat brownies and withhold food or whatever. I'm like, cause she was the devil, and the devil in that damn house likes brownies, apparently. I mean, my God. Um, and yeah, they ate that in front of the kids. It's 100%. Or we just throw it away. Okay, let me go back to this. We'll finish reading this up real quick. Please hold. Wait, we already read that, didn't we? I read that. Okay, here we go. R's feet are swollen from standing. He is angry. Nobody cares. I told him he is acting like a man having a heart attack and gets his feelings hurt because nobody cares about the sliver in its finger. When your soul is dying, nobody cares about your feet, I think it said. And that was it for that. I think that was the last of the page that I did for these videos this morning. I mean, insane. Absolutely insane. So there is never any winning. And again, we heard this with what Kevin talked about too, because there's never any winning for him. It didn't matter what he did. Jody and what's her name, Ruby, were going to always change the bar, change the target, redefine the rules, so on and so forth. It's just how they played this game, but they were obviously doing it with the children's lives as well, right? Which is what's insane about it, which is utterly insane about it. So yeah, there's never any winning it, and that's why I just think that the kids were just going to slowly deteriorate, and then like we all discussed earlier, once they got to that property, that's when the kids would have vanished. They would have vanished. They would have worked them. I think they would have worked them to death. Literally worked them to death. And then again, it makes you wonder what if, and I don't know which, maybe if the older kids saw the sentencing or if they even wanted to, pardon me. But to see what they went through and then to hear Ruby get up there in the sentencing and try and talk about, oh, it's just, I thought I was leading down this road, but Jody, did this and that. Because I feel like the people who survived her, if they're the ones that survived the mother, I mean, they all did, but you know what I'm saying? It would be like a slap in the face to be like, oh no, honey, you don't get to go up here and give this half-assed little acceptance speech where you're pretending to be sorry. It doesn't work that way. Jody held a beast, right? Yeah, Amanda says, I think R figured out early on, and that's why he just wanted to go to jail. I agree. 100%. I can have a think of those kids. My grandchildren being picky about their food. I know, right, Deborah? And I just, with it shocks me too that Connections is still up. But I swear to God, y'all, if you so listening to Jody on the phone, talking about how like I've got a story to tell and how they're the martyrs. Pardon me. They're going to start grifting from behind bars. Jody's going to start up a new damn podcast. I was talking about it in the members chat earlier today. I said, number one, she's going to be running some little, Bible study in there, probably mixing in with working out. Thank you, Sandra. Chad, Sherry, and Kevin were there for her speech. Oh, wow. I would have loved to see Kevin's face. He probably is sad that she went away. I mean, hopefully, hopefully the family, the ones that not Ruby, can find common ground and, you know, heal, you know what I'm saying? You hate to see someone's family split apart in all these ways, and I'm mostly speaking of the children with the father and whatnot. But I mean, it's like if he's still going to be on Ruby train, it is what it is. I mean, there's just going to be because the younger kids who live through this, this right here, R, E, J, all these, all these younger kids. I mean, they're going to get old enough to put two and to figure it all out, right? Happy Easter, Tori. So I don't know. I shudder to think what the last part of the journal will be. I'm very interested. Oh wait, the Connections website is no longer. Hold on, please hold. Please hold. Connections, Jody. My God, it's sad that it comes right up for me. JodyHildebrand.com. Oh wait, this is somebody who's doing a website about her. How do you? Okay, wait. Her Instagram's down. It seems. And then let's come over here. Let's see. Okay, this one works. So I'm on some kind of podcast place and it's coming up speaking the truth about death. This one, keeping kids safe in a predatory society. My God, we reviewed some of these earlier, like not like today, but like, on here in the channel earlier or whatever, like when this came out, some of the podcast. And y'all, I mean, knowing what we know now that they did, and then sitting up here doing this BS on these podcasts, I was like, I mean, ballsy. Okay, very ballsy, right? Um, okay, so let's switch gears for a second and let's talk about what we're going to try and do with the Chad Daybell situation. So, Chad Daybell. So we're switching to same vibe, different people. Chad Daybell, Lori Daybell, she's already gone through, gotten convicted. She's getting ready to go up for the Arizona thing. Chad Daybell's trial starts tomorrow. It begins with jury selection. Now, this is going to be live streamed on Judge Boyce's channel. Nate Eaton of East Idaho News is going to be streaming and be there and do evening recaps of it, like he kind of does with these things, right? So, what I'm going to try and do is this, and I said it before, but I'll say it again. Hold on, where? I'm going to try and stream as much of it as I can on here. Also, I work, I do this, I do that, I've got stuff going on. So I'm not going to be like one of these channels that like, that's what they do and they do it all day. And it's like this whole thing, but what I'll do is when I can, I'll let y'all know, just like I do here. Hey, y'all, I'm going to go live and we're going to stream the trial and watch some of it together. So that's what I'll try and do, unless something comes out where it's like you can't, other people can't. But I think other people are going to be doing it too. Pardon me. Hey, Smog Hobbit, we are kind of wrapping things up, but that's okay. You can catch it on the replay. I hope all's well. So I'll try and stream as much of it as you can. You know what I'm saying? So like tomorrow, for example, the morning time, the morning session, if you will, I'm going to try and stream it if they show the jury selection. I don't know if they will, right? We'll see. But so that's what we'll do. And let me see here. What time? Please hold. What is it? 3 hours behind there? What time is it? Is it in Idaho? It's 5:57 and it's 7:57 here. It's like 2 hours behind. Okay. So we'll see what happens for there. So basically just look out, or you know what I'm saying? Look out in the community post, because that's where we'll kind of put those up or whatever. And do that. So pardon me. So we'll try that. Then what I'll do is so for example, when they do things like the opening statements, or for God's sakes, Melanie Gibb gets up there on the stand, that's where I'm going to try and do like my little recap videos that I do of it or whatever, right? And try and get out as quick as I can or whatever, and do that and comment on it. So we'll probably kind of dedicate our weekly live chats over here on this channel. And again, we might do more live. It just depends on what's going on, but like, we're going to kind of follow this as heavily as possible. Is this what I'm getting at? It's going to be a lot of horrible information. So trigger warning for it. And if it's not your thing, I get it. I mean, it's a tough case. And I mean tough. So, and Jenny says he's up for the DP. He better get it. Y'all, I do not see how he won't. But again, I ain't no lawyer. I'm not going to be there on the jury. I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? But literally, you saw what went down with what's her name? Lori. And she didn't have it on the table. And then you saw what came out of her mouth at sentencing. So when he's rolling up there and the children were on his property, no. It's a wrap. Okay. It's a wrap. I can hear old Sparky going bzzz, 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 bzzz. For those that are also just joining that didn't hear earlier, I found a lot of you, well, via the Chad Daybell trial, a lot of you found me through my readings of his loin fires, and I cannot believe that I say that seriously, but through that and his 1 Foot in the Great Book. So I have that playlist is being turned into a one like long stream of the book. So that'll be up maybe like in the next week or so. So just be on the lookout for that. So by default, we'll be going live again maybe next Sunday. But again, well, let me say this. By default, that's going to be our day, our gig. Look for me in the morning. You'll see the thing, or you'll get your notification. It's going to be on this channel. If they are, if we're going to be able to stream like the jury selection, all that. I might not be able to do it all day. But we can at least do it for a little bit and hang out. So, and talk about it as it goes on. So that's that. I am going to go though, because I have to get up early and go to the gym and get a bunch of stuff done before we start streaming. I do appreciate everybody being here. First and foremost, thank you, Emily, for being here and holding the fort down. I do appreciate you. And thank you, everybody, for super chats, for hanging out, for the conversation, for the ideas back and forth, for the community, for the banter, for the laughs when we have them. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you for being a friend. Dun, 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 dun. Roscoe wants to say goodnight. Come here, buddy. And Roscoe's really driving this ship. He is pissed right now. See, okay, y'all, it's time for him to go to bed. Roscoe's like, he's got his little warming blanket. Roscoe has a heating blanket that I keep. Well, I mean, it's for me too, on the sofa. And let me tell you what, you can't tell him nothing with that damn heating blanket. I am talking tongue out. He loves that damn thing. If you have a dog, give him a little heating blanket. They'll thank you for it. Anyways, that's it. I love y'all. Thank you so much. I will talk to y'all maybe tomorrow morning on a live stream. Be on the lookout. Y'all sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I will see you next time. Thank you, everybody.